Okay, hey guys, Rich here. Just wanted to give you some new material. So today's project is the old CT90. I sold my really good CT90 that I had, and I decided to work on the old beater CT90 that I bought a few years back. Now I got this baby. Originally I bought it off a guy in PA. And it was in a box, basically. Somebody had taken the whole thing apart. They lost all the bolts, and they lost the wiring harness, the ignition. They basically took it apart, and they had the intention, I think, of respraying the frame and making it like a rat bike or something. They painted the original frame flat black, and they basically effed it up royally. And so it was quite a process of seeing what I had in terms of parts. And so I had boxes of Honda bolts and so forth, and miscellaneous parts. And my intention is to put this thing back together. Maybe, if I'm ever so lucky, get it back on the road. We'll see what happens with that. So I went out today and bought a battery for it. I just got back from the Tri-State battery warehouse, and I paid all of $15 for that, and it's currently charging up right now. You can see the rat's nest here of wiring. The original owner, of course, lost the original wiring harness, so I bought this new wiring harness off eBay for about, I think I paid 20 bucks for it maybe. And of course some of the connections were cut, so I had to rebuild some of those bullet connectors and attach them to the wiring harness for the engine and stator and so forth. So I have to work my way through this concoction here and see what I can find. I basically know how the whole wiring thing goes together, but it's a matter of just taking my time. They also lost the original coil, and so I bought a new coil off eBay, and I bought a new condenser too. And those go in here in this little cubby. It helps if you're a tiny little person to be able to get your hands in there. I tend to be a little bit bigger, so it's hard to rewire those kind of things. So that's how far I've got right now. The original parts that I had bought for about, I think I paid 150 bucks for the parts bike, and it came with the original air box and real rough looking seat and rack. I have that over here, and so cleaned that up a bit and put a can of spray. I used apple red. It's not exactly the Honda color, but that's basically what it should look like when it's completed. It's supposed to have a cover on there, of course. Now this bike, it does have compression. So you can see that after we get that battery in and get everything wired up, we might even get this thing to go. That would be really exciting. So anyway, the original frame, as I said, was painted flat black, and it was really terrible condition. So what I did was I took the original frame, and I bought this new frame off a guy out in the Midwest, and this new frame comes with a title. So it's an Indiana title. I'll be able to transfer that over to PA hopefully, and if all goes well, we may even get this thing on the road. That would be a miracle. So I took the air box, I sold that, and I sold a few parts miscellaneous parts that he had in there. He had a spare engine guard and some other things. I think I paid $150 for the donor bike, and I think I sold those parts for about $60, so they're about 90 into it. The frame cost me $250 plus another $80 for shipping, so I'm looking at about $350, $360, something like that, and have a classic Honda. CT90s are basically a Honda Cub, and with a Springer front end on it instead of a spring fork on the front, instead of that weird Honda Cub fork. They're very, very good bike. I've owned a few of these over the years, and bulletproof engine if you can get the thing going. Anyway, that's about it for part one of this CT90 project. This is a project I'm working on while I'm off work for the week, and that's about it. So take care, guys. I'll check in with you when I get some more progress. As I said, the battery's still charging up right now, so I'm not gonna wire it up until I get that fully charged. And of course, I've got to get some fuel lines for this. I'm probably just gonna run a 2-into-1 fuel line and run that right into the carburetor. It has separate fuel line connections there for main tank and reserve, but we'll see about that. I don't know if I'm gonna go that way or not. I have the original carburetor too on the bench here, and as you can see, that thing is pretty well gunked up. That was the original carburetor though, which with a bit of cleaning may go back on. Now the bars themselves, they have wiring in there, and in classic fashion, like these things, for some reason you get these handlebars and the switch down here is always missing for some reason. People take them off and they lose that part, so I may be able to source another set of bars for it, and then possibly even put the original carburetor on instead of the aftermarket carb that I bought off eBay, although that carb, I've used one before on a CT90 and they work pretty well. It's snowing right now. First snow of the season, and I can't believe it, because I was actually thinking I might go out and do some things outside which require not a snowy day, but now the snow has put an end to all that stuff. So I will see you on the next one. Take care, guys.